So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So yeah, I'm going to be doing two teams for Doffy 2 with double Luffy Crew captains. And for this free-to-play team, I wanted to showcase that for the friend captain or your own captain, you want one Luffy Crew with at least level 2 final tap, because it's just barely lacking damage. So you'll see with this team that level 2 is very safe instead. But yeah, this first team is a free-to-play team, and it's my first ever free-to-play sub-team against Doffy 2. Like, nowadays, the popular type of free-to-play teams is using free-to-play subs, and that's what I've done here, and it's not just free-to-play sub, it's fairly accessible free-to-play subs. Like, 3 of these are 5+ Kizuna units, funnily enough, and the 4th is Arena Mihawk. So they are all obtainable, 3 of them from Kizuna shop and 1 from the Recollection Archive. See, I've not put any support on most of these units, so if you do want to try and run this, and you have lower stats than me, you can just use support to make up the difference. And yeah, this is a Poison Socket team. I rarely make those, but I hope people can understand why. It's hard enough just to make a free-to-play sub-team against Doffy 2. And yeah, I took my time with this team and refined it, so I'm pretty happy with the end product. The hardest part with this team was final stage, since you need some support to give color affinity, or you can't use Luffy Crew's special. And the only free-to-play support that does color affinity, since I have all the Straw Hats on my team, was the Arena X Drake, and he only attaches to Powerhouse strength units. So, yeah, it was hard to find a unit to fit that, but I ended up settling on Don Krieg. And yeah, we're going to make good use of Luffy Crew's captain ability here. As you see, Big Mom special, 3 turns, Rainbow Ore boost. And Luffy Crew's passive healing is very nice here, as you see. I heal so much that I easily just tank Caesar by doing nothing special at all. It's honestly pretty impressive. This is not an easy stage to stall on for most captains in the game. Can even get some healing by hitting perfects here. And yeah, my new thing with Doffy 2 that I think is very funny is not using any sailors that remove paralysis or any swaps that always remove paralysis. But both new legends offer various ways to get rid of paralysis. Like with Luffy Crew, it's the super swap. With Roger Whitebeard, it's the captain ability of Roger and the duo form. So it's just very fun to work around that. So for this team, basically against Doffy 2, there's 4 turns of 1 turn paralysis. And I get rid of 2 of those with the super swap, 1 with the ship, and for the 4th, well, you'll have to see. And yeah, I'm going to be using both Luffy Crew specials again. I'm going to be doing some stalling. Yeah, easy kill. And as you see, I make good use of the Rainbow Orb manip, since, yeah, this stage kind of screws you over otherwise. And yeah, we do another super swap. And yeah, this stage is the tightest together with the final stage. You really need to hit all perfects here. And yeah, I think I have my Shiri support on Mihawk. Shiri support is not really needed since we have Poison Sockets. It's just nice extra healing. But if you copy this team, I definitely put a stat support on Mihawk instead. You can put Shiryu on Big Mom instead. And yeah, I made a hitting order here that just lets me hit above half HP, since you want to keep trouble about that. Then now we get inflicted the spear, and this is why we have Krieg and Gin. They are just here to remove the spear here, as well as the support for final stage. Being a strength unit is a nice bonus, even if they aren't boosted by the ship. And I must say that their special ability to cancel out negative attack or buffs is very useful here, as we just do more consistent damage against this stage, which is helpful. And yeah, we're going to do the final stalling of the run here. First, we're going to stall one turn before using Boa Special, since it's not ready. And this is highly unorthodox, but it's actually possible. But it's funny that this is possible while using free-to-play subs. Basically, the bottom 2 rows will get block or perfect locked for 9 turns. So basically, they'll do no damage for the rest of the run. So that means we have to beat final stage with just the top 4 units, really. But yeah, since one of the units basically never does damage, since someone has to start the chain, it's really not that big of a damage loss as it could have been. And yeah, kill the 2 guys in front, leave the bomb guy alive, and now we just stall until the friend captain is at 4 CD. And yeah, the CD just works out. I'm always happy when that happens. I swap the Moogies to Dex just to do more damage here when we burst. And yeah, if you do want to try this team yourself, I wouldn't recommend it, but like, this is a pretty accessible team, even if it's very tight. Just check how I do my swaps, really. They are pretty specific. Same goes with like the order I burst and such, is pretty specific as well. And yeah, the Amante stage now. Going to be using Big Mom here. Luckily, Big Mom only does 1 beneficial boost, otherwise you wouldn't be able to use Luffy Crew special and get more buffs. That's the interesting part of Luffy Crew team building, to be honest. Like, it can be hard to make use of his special depending on what buffs the debuff removers does. But yeah, final stage. And yeah, I think this team is pretty smooth. Like a year ago, a team around like 8 minutes will be pretty decent, to be honest. And they haven't talked much about Mihawk, but he's so good. And yeah, we got the Color Affinity there, which blocks Luffy Crew doing Color Affinity, which it gets interrupted. Mihawk removes Death Up, gives Chain Lock. I'll be using Mihawk on the next team as well. He's just so good for Doffy 2 and works great with the new legends. And yeah, even did a great there. I honestly thought the run was over there. But yeah, level 2 does a lot more damage than level 1, so we're fine. And yeah, as a special treat, I got a second team here. This is a better team, pretty fast, using double Luffy Crew with Roger and Viper as a sub. I also have some, at least one pretty rare sub, which is the Rare Recruit Raizo. I think I mentioned this before, but like, yeah, Luffy Crew and Roger and Viper are obviously big power creeps, but for once it's not only negative. Like, both of these help older units as well being usable. Like, this Raizo will usually not be great against Doffy 2. But like, with Roddy and Whitebeard, we got potential special bind resist. So if you got like 5 turns of special bind, you can get it down to 3. So a unit like Raizo can actually be used. And like with Luffy Crew, we'll have the ability to get Rainbow Orbs, which also helps a lot. So yeah, you'll see that the thing with this team is that we're actually not using Luffy Crew special to add damage. We're going to be using him for the secondary effect, which gives Rainbow Orbs and locks them. Which is insanely useful and will just be carried by the Roger and Whitebeard swap for damage mainly. Mihawk also has a lot of damage when you can get that chain lock as well. One thing to note is that on the treble stage you normally can't use Luffy Crew special due to he resisting ore boosts. But if you swap Roger and Whitebeard first, you block that. So yeah, full board of rainbow orbs, locked for 2 turns. That means we skipped the block orbs next stage. It also means we don't need to remove the special bind next stage. But we can just get carried by the Roger and Whitebeard swap. And yeah, this is another team where I have to play around the paralysis. For this first one, I used the super swap. And yeah, I got 4 ways to remove paralysis here. We have the ship, we have 2 super swaps, and we have Raizo special. This is why Raizo is on the team. He can not only remove special bind, but he also removes the paralysis, and he has super low CD, so he's naturally ready for final stage with only 1 turn of stall. So yeah, sadly this team has 1 single turn of stall, and it's due to orb shenanigans. I'll explain it the next stage. But yeah, otherwise this team is pretty clean, for sure. Spend some time to optimize this as well. I like that the teams I upload are pretty optimized and look clean. And yeah, super swap to remove the paralysis here. And yeah, here is the issue. We'll be using the super swap here. And now we use Luffy Crew special. And as you see, it's a 2-turn orb block. But that 2-turn orb block will block the orb block the next stage. So then I thought maybe I can use Luffy Crew the stage before this and carry over the orb block to the next stage. But when you transition from the Pika stage to this stage, it removes all 2 turns of orb block. So it's just so inconsistent, that mechanic. So there was no other chance but to stall 1 turn. But thankfully that turn of stall also turned out great with Raizo's CD. So it's fine. And yeah, we remove the final turn of paralysis with the ship. Bobbin to remove the rainbow shield. This is usually not possible since Bobbin does orb manip, but of course that's blocked by the rainbow orbs. And yeah, we have so much damage, we just one-shot everything. And as you've seen, I managed to use Mihawk so many times since the damage output is just insane. So Mihawk can just keep using his chain lock for even more damage. And also removing all the death up in this content. And yeah, as you see, 4 turn special bind. Bobbin helps removing 1 of them. And then when we get to the final stage, will be a 3 CD, and Raizo can remove it for the whole team. But yeah, this team was super fun. And it was cool to, because I really think this team makes Raizo look pretty good. Which I think is an achievement, but of course he gets carried by pretty good allies. And yeah, the damage for this team will of course be a lot safer than the first team. And we'll also make use of Roger's color affinity buff here. He buffs the support from 1.3 turns color affinity to 1.8 times color affinity. Chain lock, remove death up, and yeah, we just burst, and this will be a very easy kill. I even mess up here and still get the kill. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.